We're going to start off with a piece that I'm just starting with now. So this is the first time ever. It's not a new tune. It's called Let There Be Peace on Earth. That was Let There Be Peace on Earth, my version of it. I'm trying to stay true to the original chords, but I dressed it up just a little. Um, well, I let my chops rest a bit. I think I've been absent from these feeds for a few months now, yeah. Um, but I'm happy to be back, and I enjoy doing the question and answer sessions that we sometimes have with them. So um, that, of course, is part of the experience of doing the live feeds. It isn't just a musical performance, but we talk a little bit about music, trombone, uh, improvisation, brass, life in general. Uh, so, of course, I'm not going to be able to answer your questions today, since this is a taped event. But there is one question, of course. I'm going to keep reminding you to put the question in the comments below. Put the answer, please, in the comments below. And the question is, what day of the week and what time of day would be best for you for us to have a live feed where you would be attending on a regular basis? Once we can establish a good time and a good day, then hopefully we'll be able to do live feeds on a semi-regular basis, like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that. And I'm looking forward to developing this thing as a regular occurrence. So next up is another song which might be a little older than the previous one. The one we just did was composed in 1955. I think this one's a little older, and I'm not actually sure right now, but I think it's Gershwin. This is But Not For Me. Sometimes when the slide gets a little sticky, it really adversely affects what I'm doing here. I think that's a recommendation that I'd make. If you are discovering that your slide is often getting a little sticky, it may actually be part of the reasoning why sometimes things aren't flowing that smoothly. It's not always easy to know what the cause is for decreased facility. So you might as well minimize the causes. And one of them, of course, is the slide. If you have a very subtle technique, then just a slight additional resistance that you would get from the motion of the slide can have a bad effect on the embouchure. It would be somewhat as if you were playing and the floor was moving a little bit, and so things were shaking, which may not be all that noticeable in marching music, which is mostly just loud marcato stuff. But if your playing is a lot more subtle than that, which this kind of music requires a great deal of subtlety, then you want to get that resistance out of the way. Again, the question of the day is, please let us know what day of the week and what time of day you would prefer for these live feeds to appear on your YouTube feed. And place your answers in the comments section below. We did two songs that one of them is an unknown as a jazz song anyway. That was Let There Be Peace on Earth. And then the last one I did is a very well-known standard as a jazz song, but not for me. And now we're going to embark on something a little different. I've been looking forward to this. These are some originals of mine. You can hear all of this stuff when my band plays every Friday here in Binghamton at a restaurant called Moxie. Of course, that's actual live people. It isn't just me playing with a computer-generated band. But today you get to hear just me. And the first of these original songs is called Don't Forget. That was Don't Forget. I want to talk a little bit about polish and control and creativity. Is it better to only play what you have prepared and what you are certain that you have polished and what you have total control over? The thing is, when you prepare everything to the nth degree and are completely confident in what you're doing because you've practiced every note, every way. Are you still improvising? I'm not so sure. And so I actually would prefer to hear a musician make a mistake if I know that what I'm listening to is honestly the flow of music that's within them. And it is a chance that you take when you trust that inner flow. You do take a chance that something won't come out. And so if you're performing, of course, then it's possible that it will sound wrong to your ears or maybe even to the ears of the audience. But if you look at this closer and begin to closely pay attention to the performances by those jazz musicians who are considered to be the greatest improvisers of all time, often they do make a lot of mistakes if you look at it purely from a technical standpoint. But what they do not do, generally, I'm not trying to say that there's a rule. Generally, what they do not do is become so attached to their preconceived licks and phrases that they're unwilling to take any chances. And so I invite you to take chances in your music, to follow the music that is in you, in your head, in your heart, and allow that music to come out. When a mistake happens, at that time, you may find that the more relaxed and accepting you are of this as reality, because it's already happened. You can't go back in time, even a millisecond back in time, and change what you did. The more that you can relax into the reality of what happens, the easier it will be to continue to improvise and perhaps even turn a mistake into just something that was part of what happened. It was an event, turning a mistake into an event. And that difference in perspective is one that I believe can take your improvisation from being very staid and formal and not really improvising to the next level. We've got another original here. This is a song I composed a long time ago, probably 92, or perhaps even earlier than that. It's called Shell. That was called Shell. Shell. Need to recover a little bit from that one. How about some more original music? Before I play the next one, I'm going to talk a little bit about energy flow. You may find that it's helpful to visualize the energy flow in your body. This is related to yoga, and of course, as brass instrument players, breathing is an integral part of what we do. And most of you, if not everyone, have heard that we are supposed to breathe from the lower part of our abdomen, which of course is true. There is a kind of yoga practice which focuses primarily on the energy flow throughout the spine, starting, of course, at the bottom of the spine, which is coincidentally exactly where we were speaking of, where the breath begins for our brass playing, and channeling everything into the upper area. I have found it to work quite well, actually, in the midst of musical performance. to put a lot of my focus on the area right here in the front of the forehead, in between the eyebrows. That area allows a certain energy flow to match up with the inner music, and I find it very, it's a very good place to put my attention on. It may be a distraction for you. If it's distracting you from following the inner music, then don't do it. But if it isn't, and if it's helpful, then by all means, I've found it to be quite energizing as I perform live and also on these tapes and in my practice room alone, which is how I've been spending most of my time, and just in my practice room alone. It's actually strange to be back here on camera. The next song is another original. This one is called Hamburger. This is a blues, but it's got a few rather complicated additions to it. Hamburger. That was Hamburger, an original of mine. We don't play that in my band. I played it maybe 10 years ago in a different band. I'd like to play it again. The question for the day is directed at you, of course, and that is, what day of the week and time of day would you like for these live feeds to show up? What would be most convenient and ideal where you would participate in these live feeds, which, of course, have live question and answers during the live feed. This question that I'm asking of you, what day and time, please put your answers in the comments below. Next up, I'm going to go back to standards. This is another tune that has a little alteration in the chord changes. This is Night and Day, and the chord changes are by Joe Henderson. So, Night and Day. In the interest of time, I'm going to try to squeeze two more in before I run out of tape. Here is You Go to My Head. Thank you. Be sure to give your answer here. What day and time would you like these live feeds to happen? You have my gratitude. Thank you very much. Please come again.